And we are now live. Hello, this is Glumpuddle, and I'm joined by.
Fantasia Kitty. Hi, everybody.
How is everyone doing? Not much happening right now, I guess, right? Just another day in Narnia.
That's right.
And I'm speaking kind of awkwardly and slowly because I'm also sending a Facebook message and a tweet at the same time. You kids and your social media channels make it so complicated. Okay, I think I can kind of settle into this. So, um, want to recap the bombshell that just dropped about how long has it been? Has it been
About an hour ago.
about an hour ago? What's going on in the world of Narnia?
Well, we have a director for the Silver Chair.
It's real. They are, in fact, making a fourth Narnia movie. Those that doubt it, we have a director, by far the most kind of concrete, um, kind of yes, they're definitely doing it thing to come out.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and navigate over to. This is our first time doing a live reaction like this. Well, we've done a Facebook Live podcast at one point, but this is my first time playing on the YouTube Live. So let me see kind of how this is. I'm hoping there's a place where I can read your comments. I'll chat hello, everyone, just on the Narnia Web YouTube page there, and we'll see how many views we eventually get. Anyway, I'm going to stall for a bit here and give people a chance to start watching. So obviously, most recently, we got the news that, last we heard from Gresham, he hoped to start pre-production basically very soon. Or sorry, he wanted to start shooting later this year.
Yep.
And then was hoping for a late 2018 release date. And just a few days ago, I was thinking, if they don't, they'd better hurry up and announce a director soon, because I think if they don't in the next month or so, I'm going to really start to doubt that 2018 release date if it's possible. Hello, Mr. Jake Boy 24 is excited. We're certainly excited. Yes, exactly, Jake Boy. We're excited to get news. And we're still trying to figure some things out. Fantasia Kitty, if you go over just to, let me send you the link actually, narniweb.com YouTube page. You can look at the comments as well.
Okay.
Are you ready? We're trying to figure out a few things. Actually, yeah, if you just go to narniweb.com, the YouTube page, which is, you could just go to the home page, I guess, and because I posted a story there. And let's see here. And then just click on the YouTube link inside that embedded video, or the YouTube logo, and you can look at the comments. Anyway, so some of his, everyone listening, please post your reactions. We're going to go over some of your reactions here very shortly. In fact, why don't I go over and just scroll down here? And congratulations, Narnia Fan 7, the first person to post on this story. And Narnia Fan 7 said, yes, we finally have a director. The only film I've seen of his is Captain America, which I liked. Other than that, I don't know much about him. Figuring, let's see, what does Impending Doom say? Interesting choice. Nothing in this filmography particularly jumps out at me besides October Sky, which is an excellent film. Now, Fantasia Kitty, you said
I love
you've
that
seen,
movie.
yeah. Tell me about October Sky.
October Sky is about a group of boys who decide to not work in the coal mines in their hometown and instead take up rocketry and end up well, I don't want to give it away for those who are going to like run out and grab the movie now to see what this guy's done, but
That's what I'm
a
gonna have to do.
very good movie based
Okay.
on a true story.
Okay. Oh, I want to come back to October Sky in a second. As far as, are there any themes or directing styles or something like that that might lend itself to Narnia? But kind of looking at the rest of his filmography here. In fact, I'll go ahead and click on his IMDb here.
I know I got a big kick out of seeing that he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which
I did
I
too.
grew up with that movie. I mean, that was like classic campy 80s movie. But I can't say that that really makes me think Narnia, but
No.
I like the movie just for fun.
Yeah, that was that's a childhood, major childhood nostalgia for me. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I have no idea if it would actually turn out to be a great movie now. Um, But so I have no idea what perspective mine would be on it. But then Jumanji, I don't know if I call that a childhood classic, but something I remember very clearly from childhood. Did you ever see that?
I have. I remember when that came out. When it came out, I was blown away by the special effects. Now you go back and look at it now, it's not that great anymore. But
Uh-huh.
I remember at the time just being really impressed with how real all the animals looked that were coming out of the game.
Right. And he has a visual effects, for what it's worth. He has a visual effects background as well. He worked on the original Star Wars trilogy and the Raiders of the Lost Ark as well. Old school special effects there, better ones. So I guess you could kind of compare him to Andrew Adamson in that sense.
Sure.
Kind of having he certainly has a much more extensive, he's done a lot more. Like Andrew Adamson, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was his first movie. Joe Johnston obviously has a much more extensive list, but in terms as far as having a visual effects background, even after that, he still continued to do movies that have a lot of visual effects involved.
Right.
Which we were talking before we started streaming here about. It kind of changes our perception of what kind of budget and what kind of scale we can expect from this movie.
Definitely, yeah, because I know I was expecting somebody that I had never heard of before, or at the very least had never heard of the movies that he or she had worked on, and so I was very surprised. I mean, obviously the big one that came up first when the news broke was Captain America. That's
right.
That's a big summer blockbuster popcorn flick right there. So definitely was surprised to see that on the list. So
yeah, we've got a comment from Sarah saying she's happy about the news. Grew up watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay, so we're not alone. And I remember The Page Master. I remember seeing that in theaters. Jumanji, and also really liked Captain America: The First Avenger. But all these are kind of blockbustery, so it makes us think we can probably. I mean, we've been saying for probably the last few years at least that would probably be a lower budget Narnia movie.
Yeah. I think Doug Grisham actually said that, and maybe that's why we had that impression that it would be a lower budget movie, because I think at one point Doug Grisham said something about wanting it to be a smaller, more independent type movie.
Hello, Nur Farhana Kararudin. Sorry about. Are you able to see the comments right now, Fantasia Kitty?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sorry. NURFARHANA. Thank you for logging on. Now Daniel Payne is on as well, and Daniel's excited about the news. You guys in the comments section seem largely excited about it. It seems largely good news. But back to what you were saying about Grisham. I remember him saying he was going to make it independently, which immediately made us assume it would be a lower budget, and it made sense considering Grisham's desire to retain control of the scripts and not have to make compromises he didn't want to. It just made sense that the budget would end up being lower, maybe for that reason alone. The lower budget you have, the fewer people you have with their hand in the pot trying to protect their investment.
Right.
And also I just think since the previous two Narnia movies not that they did bad, but they kind of underperformed at the box office, that would also steer you towards probably having a lower budget. But this makes me think maybe not. And honestly, don't know how I feel about that, because in one sense, I kind of like the idea of a lower budget Narnia movie, and even if it means you can't have the same scale or whatever, I kind of like something that felt it would be smaller and more personal and not have to be ginormous and epic.
Yeah, and this would have probably been the book to do that with. It's a much more simple book, I think.
Yeah.
Than the others. So
yeah, River Naiad's saying, but what about Jurassic Park 3? Did you see Jurassic Park 3?
I have not seen Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, it's and I think I saw it a long time ago, and it's just it's a sequel to Jurassic Park. I think it's what you would expect. Now, I think Jurassic Park's a good movie, the first one, but I would just want I think it's a very well directed movie, but I personally would want something like The Silver Chair to transcend the blockbuster kind of status.
Yeah.
And that's why I was hoping for a more kind of smaller kind of auteur director, but since I'm looking at his filmography, and it's not that I liked the first Captain America movie. It was fine, and I from what I can remember, I guess I liked Jumanji and Honey I Shrunk the Kids. It's not that I didn't like those movies; they were pretty good, and probably The Silver Chair will be good in that sense. But maybe I was sort of hoping they would go beyond just the blockbuster kind of movie and go for something a little more subtle, I guess. I don't know. Maybe this will be that. Maybe this is like his first shot to do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to real quick give a shout out to Nathan Ludwig, who commented on the Facebook page. He says, The Rocketeer and Captain America, The First Adventure make me think Joe Johnston would be great for the Chronicles of Narnia. And Jumanji is a movie version of a book, which is getting a remake soon, by the way.
Yep.
And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a great movie for any time. And yes, his work on Raiders of the Lost Ark and Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles definitely helps. I love Indiana Jones.
Well, I would like to see a more traditional approach to visual effects, if possible. Maybe which we had in the earlier. But then again, Captain America I think was fairly CG based. I'm trying to think of. I can't remember. I didn't see the Rocketeer. Similar style as the first Avenger, I think. That kind of retro feel.
Well, the Rocketeer that he directed was the one made way back in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Not the recent remake.
Right. I know. So that's probably another one. I just added October Sky in my Netflix queue, so I'll have to see.
Yeah.
The Rocketeer as well.
I would say October Sky, and also I have seen Hidalgo as well, and that was also a good.
It's Aragorn.
Right, that was also a pretty decent movie. I know for me, I liked October Sky. I love that movie. It's definitely one of my favorite movies ever. So that one's the one that makes me think, all right, yeah, he's a good director. He can do this. So.
Right. Yeah, I think he can. Oh, I should probably sign out so we don't see our secret Mod Lounge conversations. General movie discussion. Just heading over to the forum, see if anyone has posted. Oh, just a few posts so far. Let's see what our reactions are. Longtime Narnia Weber Coracle broke the news. I think, yeah, before the story was posted. One step closer to the movie. Paul thinks it's very interesting. Let's see, Rose Tree Dryad. The Rose Tree Dryad, in fact. Haven't seen a lot of his films. One thing that impresses me as I research him is his extensive artistic talent. Wikipedia says he began his career as concept artist and effects technician for a Star Wars film and was the art director. One of the effects for the sequel. Rose Tree Dryad, she says, it makes me hopeful that the world of Narnia and its magical inhabitants will have a richer, fuller, more alive and unique aesthetic under his direction. Narnia needs to look and feel unlike anything else on the market. Teamed up with David McGee, Johnston may have the perfect background to help create that. Fingers crossed. Yep, it's kind of where we all are, I guess. I'm trying to remember. I think my reaction when let me see here. You were talking about October Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything? Now, that's not really a big effects movie, is it?
No, it's not at all. I mean,
Okay.
I would assume that they did some special effects with the rocket launches, but, that's such a minor thing compared to everything else.
Mm-hmm. Now, jumping back to what we were just talking about, where I was get back to October Sky in a second, but Adam Dens is saying one thing I do like about that is his recent bigger adventure films like Hidalgo and Captain America, he always preferred sets and location shoots and doesn't use green screens a lot. So I'm absolutely hoping he sticks to traditional effects as much as possible. I don't remember that much about Captain America. I didn't see Hidalgo, so I don't know how much of that was practical, but that's certainly what I would hope for. But back to October Sky, is there anything there? The look, the feel, the pacing, themes. Can you think of anything else that maybe could possibly translate to Narnia?
I know that the nice thing about it is that it is a slower paced movie. It's not a big action movie. It's a nice, a good story rather than a whole lot of eye candy, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I don't really quite know how to describe it per se, but it's definitely you know, being the silver chair, that they go on this journey. I'm hoping that maybe it won't be like action with the experiment house and running away from the bullies and then Narnia and falling off the cliff and then in Narnia and then they get going and meet Puddleglum and then and then there's this big gap and then they get the giants and then the other giants, and so I'm hoping that maybe they will slow down a little bit and
Definitely.
and not make it just back to back to back to back action sequences, and actually develop the characters so we understand them a little more. And
Yeah, I was just posting about that in the Narnia. We can go and go to that. The Narnia Web discussion forum. In particular, there's the scene where Jill meets Aslan, and I'm just really concerned that they're going to rush through that scene because, in terms of the plot, all you need from it is, "Hey, Jill, there's this lost prince, and here are the 4 signs. Go." You could do that scene in a couple minutes, but you can't do it in a couple minutes and do it right.
Right.
Because there's also the character aspect of Jill having to make that choice of, do I die of thirst, or do I take the risk that this lion's going to eat me, even though he's not making any guarantees that he won't. And I really hope they take the time to do that as more of a character scene than a plot scene, and slow down and give us a chance to feel what Jill's going through. And I felt that Don Shredder just raced through the story so fast.
Yeah.
And was just trying to get it over with and not give us a chance to go on a journey with the characters. Totally with you there. It's interesting looking at his filmography. October Sky really stands out from the others. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Look at his IMDb.
I know for me, I would personally put Hidalgo in the same sort of storytelling. Now, Hidalgo was a lot more action for sure, but it had a little bit closer. It wasn't like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Jumanji and Captain America, which were either silly or lots of action or whatever. So I would put those two together. But
right. Okay, that's because my reaction was to think of Hidalgo as more of an action film, more of the big epic. So that's good to hear. I'll add that one to the Netflix queue as well. One of the factors that I always knew, always figured would be an issue with the Silverchair director is basically, I don't know quite how to put this, but I just think that Douglas Gresham will want someone that will work with him, that won't just have this, "Oh, I've got my vision of the story, I just want to go make it." I think Gresham wants someone who will, be secure enough in himself to be able to put up with Gresham saying, "No, really, could you please not do that? Don't do that to my stepfather's book." Who was it? I think Gresham was recently talking about how TriStar had been a really good partner so far, have been respecting his wishes and such. And I'm sure that was one of the challenges with looking for a director for Narnia, is someone who is willing to, not necessarily always be in control. And which could be good or bad. We'll see how it goes. I think there's probably a positive and a negative to that. And I certainly don't envy the responsibility Douglas Gresham must feel of having, for better or worse, a lot of people, they're going to watch The Silver Chair. Maybe that's their only exposure to anything by C.S. Lewis at all. So I don't envy the responsibility Gresham has to be true to the essence of what his stepfather wrote and with the essential messages and themes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I guess that's about it for now. I'm trying to think. I want to enter this into the record. This will still be online for a while. So I'm thinking, future Glumpuddle. Is there anything you wanted to know about how you initially felt about the Joe Johnston news? Yeah, it feels a lot like an Andrew Adamson kind of thing to me. Except he's certainly more experienced. And so far, all his movies seem good. So I guess we'll wait until we find out more.
Yep.
So anyone listening, please head over to Narnia Web and post a comment. Let me go ahead and click on forum here and post in the Narnia Web discussion forum. We've also got a bi-weekly podcast. Let me click on podcast here. And we just recorded something the other day, but I have a feeling we'll have to record something else here shortly and they get up. So stay tuned for that. But we want. Oh, also, if you go to the homepage and scroll down, I've got a poll down here where you can vote for how you feel about Joe Johnston, the next Narnia director. I'll obviously, of course, stay tuned at narniaweb.com. We're going to be keeping up with the latest news. You can assume that our release date announcement must be just around the corner now, if they've got a director. Last we heard, they were hoping for late 2018, but we'll see how that pans out. Just stick around Narnia Web for the latest news, and whatever happens, I'm looking forward to doing this again.
Yes.
Has it been 6 years since Dawn Treader? Gosh.
It's been a long time.
Gosh. And now time to get the band back together again. Do it again.
That's right.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Fantasia Kitty.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.